Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Of course, I want to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and recognize the Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection with this land. Yesterday, CTV reported significant failures of the UCP's Alberta Surgical Initiative. According to AHS data, the UCP plan for privatizing surgeries means more Albertans are waiting longer. The UCP scheme is falling short by nearly 37,000 surgeries per year within the public system. That's tens of thousands of Albertans left waiting, and almost half of them are already outside their clinical targets. While the UCP is hell-bent on building more private clinics, there are fewer surgeries getting done in the hospitals that we already have. Contrary to what Minister Copping had claimed, surgical capacity in Alberta hospitals has not returned to its pre-pandemic levels and won't for at least another year. The harm of this is being felt across the province, especially in Red Deer, where the minister is today. On Sunday, leaders of surgery units at the Red Deer Regional Hospital wrote a blistering letter to Minister Copping which said surgical care in Red Deer is, and I quote, on the brink of collapse. They highlighted how a loss of anesthesiologists and nurses has led to not performing as many surgeries as they should be able to do. Some patients are waiting so long that they are considering paying, and I quote, exorbitant amounts of money to have their surgery done in the United States or other countries. Indeed, some patients, they say, are waiting so long for elective surgery that they now require emergency surgery instead. This pressure forced Red Deer to divert surgeries a few months ago to other communities, causing already overwhelmed hospitals to deal with this added pressure and then need to cancel and divert surgeries themselves. One surgeon told the media this week that they are standing at the edge of shutting down a hospital that serves 800,000 Albertans in our central region of the province. Meanwhile, instead of fixing the damage he's caused, Minister Copping is soliciting proposals for a private surgical facility in the central zone. New buildings don't make new surgeons or new anesthesiologists or new nurses. A private facility will simply pull more staff and resources away from the Red Deer Regional Hospital. The surgeons at Red Deer have suggested many solutions for the minister to consider, including some of how to hire and retain staff, and I hope that Minister Copping listened to them today and takes immediate, urgent action. Now, also in Red Deer today, the minister and the president of the Alberta Medical Association confirmed that doctors have ratified a master agreement. Now, I am glad that there is resolution. I sincerely hope that Albertans receive better care because of it. But after looking through this agreement, I don't understand why the UCP didn't agree to or offer this sooner. In many ways, this deal simply reverses the decisions that were made by the same UCP cabinet that Jason Copping serves in. But, as we know, the UCP were not interested in collaboration, no. Instead, in early 2020, they chose to attack doctors. They shamed them online and in the media, and then tore up their previous master agreement, providing no stability or security to doctors. As a result, doctors left, which left hundreds of thousands of Albertans without access to primary care, which puts more pressure on all other levels of health care. Without a doctor, Albertans become more reliant on emergency rooms. And busy emergency rooms have caused ambulances to need to spend more time at hospitals, leading to longer EMS response times. Doctors and patients were clear with the UCP that they did not trust them and that their approach was wrong. After 98% of doctors said they had no confidence in the former Minister Tyler Shandro, the UCP still stood by their minister, carried on with their combative approach. Albertans went through the worst parts of this pandemic with their UCP government actively making the healthcare system worse by maintaining their attacks on doctors. And for what? Albertans saw no benefit from this. Certainly doctors didn't either. They're extremely tired after having spent 2 years battling through a pandemic, serving Albertans while also having to battle their own government under the UCP. Now, I sincerely hope that the agreement announced today directs Alberta's healthcare on a positive path forward, that we do see real collaboration with physicians and support for them. But the scars that the UCP have left on this province will not heal overnight. It's clear that Alberta needs a new government. The Alberta NDP recognizes the sacrifices that doctors have made. We will listen and work collaboratively with them to fix the harm that has been done by the UCP to Albertans and our healthcare system. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
All right, and if that, we will, seeing no reporters in the room, we will go to the Zoom and the phone line for questions. If you have a question on the phone, please press *9, and on Zoom, please use the raise hand function. All right, Janet, your line should be open.
Problems and couldn't really hear a lot of what you just said. But how concerned are you that the unknown outcome of the UCP leadership race might have an effect on how well any Alberta government could follow through with the commitments that are in this agreement with the Alberta Medical Association?
I'm deeply concerned. We know that there are candidates vying for the UCP leadership who have declared that they intend to cause much more chaos in our healthcare system. They intend to fire the board of AHS, the board of the College of Physicians and Surgeons. They intend to deeply politicize many of the aspects of our healthcare system that should be decidedly nonpartisan and collaborative. And certainly we know that many of the other candidates that are in this race were there at the cabinet table when then Health Minister Shandro undertook his attacks on doctors and his attempts to grind them under the government's heel, undermine family physicians, and the chaos that caused over 2 years of a pandemic. And they sat silently and said nothing. They went along with the plan. So certainly I'm hoping that we will see some stability come out of this for the sake of doctors, for the sake of Albertans and the healthcare system. But I know that when I talk to frontline doctors and other healthcare workers, there is still a decided lack of trust in this government and whether it's going to be willing to follow through on its word.
Do you have a follow-up, Janet?
I do. It seems like, yes, there were some initial agreements on addressing compensation and a little bit more money put into rural recruitment and retention initiatives, but there's a lot of outstanding unresolved issues that there's a bunch of committees struck to negotiate on them. How far do you think this agreement goes to addressing some of the long-standing issues that doctors have with the provincial government and that doctors are expressing their concerns about the way the healthcare system is sustainable?
Yeah, in terms of some of those long-term challenges or other contentious issues, frankly, this agreement doesn't really get us any further ahead. What this agreement does is get us where we could have been 2 years ago. Because to be clear, what we see in this agreement is that the government is essentially either completely walking back or forming committees to discuss all of the elements that Health Minister Shandro said were absolutely imperative that they get done in 2020. He said that is why they had to tear up the master agreement, why they simply could not negotiate any further. Now, every single one of those items that they said were essential are suddenly either being walked back, repealed, or going to a committee for discussion. So that means the last 2 years of chaos, the last 2 years of deep personal pain for physicians as they struggled to keep their family clinic open, as they've struggled to be able to maintain the surgery program at the Red Deer Regional Hospital because anesthesiologists left after this government's attacks. All of that happened simply to get us back to the same starting place. So again, certainly I'm happy to see collaboration. I'm happy to see doctors at the table, to have a voice on these important decisions, but there's no reason that couldn't have been the case 2 years ago.
And do you have any more questions, Janet?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, I will make another pass for questions on the Zoom then. On the Zoom, please use the raise hand function on the phone, *9. And seeing no more, that will conclude our press conference. Thank you for attending, everyone.
Thank you.